Welcome to Countdowns, where we count down anything from our favourite albums, bands, songs, football teams, classic films, burger joints, anything really. You name it, we'll count it down. So why not watch along and see if you agree? Maybe give us a like, subscribe, or hit the notifications bell, or even leave us a comment. But remember, this is just for fun and just our opinion. But this week, we are counting down the 12 Van Halen Studio albums from 1978 to 2012. Now, this is just the studio albums, nothing live, no greatest hits comps or anything like that, just the 12 studio albums. So watch along and see if you agree. And again, give us a comment, give us a like, subscribe, or ring the notifications bell for all upcoming videos. But enough of that. Over to our mate, Casey Kasem, to get things started.
Now, on with the countdown.
All right, number 12, and it's 1998, Van Halen 3. Yeah, good God, what a terrible album this is. I was really looking forward to this. I was looking forward to hearing Van Halen with Gary Cherone. And, excuse me, it just sounded like a really, really bad Extreme album. The songwriting was garbage. The music was poor. Just sounds like a load of second-rate songs cobbled together and thrown on an album, really. The only exception, I like New World, the intro, and I like Without You, the single. Fire in the Hole was good, used on Lethal Weapon 4. That was alright. But songs like Ballot or the Bullet, Josephina, How Many Say I? Yeah, now we know why anyone ever never sang on albums, because, awful. I thought the album cover was okay. The famous picture of the guy being shot in the stomach with a cannon. But even the graphics of the Van Halen 3 logo look. I mean, it's probably just of the time, but now they look really poor. But the album cover, generally okay. But yeah, you can see why it didn't really last. It was poorly received. It charted pretty well. It charted at number 4 in the US, but I imagine fairly quickly fell off. But yeah, it just suffers from everything. Poor production, poor songs. And it just, for me, isn't the Van Halen album, just a really poor Extreme album. But kudos to Gary Cherone for having a go and trying, but it wasn't Sammy Hagar, and it definitely wasn't David Lee Roth. So yeah, that was number 12, bottom of the pile, 1998, Van Halen 3. All right, number 11, and it is 2012's A Different Kind of Truth, the much anticipated reunion album with David Lee Roth. Unfortunately, it didn't feature Michael Anthony as a classic lineup, but never mind, it is what it is. It was the first Van Halen album not to be released on Warner Brothers. They actually released it on Interscope, and yeah, it was good. It was all right. It wasn't brilliant. Nothing really mega on there. The single Tattoo was all right. I prefer She's the Woman. That's my favourite song on the album. Chinatown, Bullethead, they're good songs. The Trouble with Never, again, good song. But the rest of them, yeah, they're listenable too, but nothing really stands out. I personally didn't really like Tattoos, the single. I'd have had She's a Woman. I thought that was a better and more Van Halen style song. I know it was an oldie from the 70s that they brought back and re-recorded for this. I thought the album cover was pretty good. The classic Van Halen logo and the big train on the front in red really stood out, really good. Actually charted at number 2 in the US, which was, really good for the time, I suppose. But yeah, it was just okay. Knowing what we know now, probably not the best way to bow out as Van Halen. But again, it's my common gripe with a lot of these older bands now that churn out new material. It just ain't good. I mean, the new Iron Maiden album, but we'll get to that in another video. But yeah, I like it. It's all right. It's light years ahead of Van Halen 3, light years ahead. But it was the first album in 14 years, so it should have been, to be fair. The music is more Van Halen than Van Halen 3. Eddie really, plays like Eddie on this and like the last album. But yeah, it was good. And I still preferred Michael Anthony in there for a bit of a more classic reunion lineup for the album. But you can't have everything. It happened the way it happened. But like I said, musically it was very good. David Lee Roth's voice, fair enough. He's getting on in age, getting on in years. So, it's not great. I don't think lyrically it was brilliant. But, yeah, it's not something I bang on all the time, very rarely. Just so I can give it another chance or another listen. But it's still the same verdict, really. So, at number 11, that was 2012's A Different Kind of Truth. Right, it's number 10, and it's 1991's For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Good album. Just a good album. But everything from here upwards are my favourite Van Halen albums. Love them all, but for different reasons. But this is, for me, the worst of the Van Hagar stuff. It's just better stuff out there for me. Some of the songs, 316, Pleasure Dome, Take or Leave Them, not really a fan of those. In and Out, Man on a Mission, Spanked. They for me are better on the live for Right Here Right Now album from '93. They just sound better on there rather than the studio album where they're quite easily skippable. But Pound Cake, Judgment Day, Top of the World, The Dream Is Over, Right Now, awesome. Just all great songs. I mean, the songwriting on Right Now is unbelievable, and obviously that's why it won the awards that it did, because it is a fantastic song, great video, and still gets played quite a bit, nowadays. But overall, the album's quite memorable. You can, you know a lot of the songs, you can sing along to them, you can put the album on and only give it a couple of skips here and there, and a few songs, like, In and Out, and On a Mission, you can get rid of them, not bothered about them, just want the good stuff. But overall, songwriting was good, production was good. Album cover, nah. Red faux leather with an embossed Van Halen logo on it. Yeah. And this was the second of the Let's Do a Funny Title album. Obviously For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, or as it's known. It was the second after OU812. Funny. Anyway. But yeah, it's good. I'd recommend it. It's good for a listen every now and again. But yeah, that is number 10, and that is For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Radio number 9, and it's 1995's Balance. Now, I know there's a lot of people don't really think too much of this album, think it's a bit bland and a bit... But I really like it. I remember buying it in 1995 and played it all summer when I was away on holiday. It was on the Walkman, it was on the stereo, it was, blasting it out there. When I first heard the single Don't Tell Me, I thought, wow, what is, the sound of Eddie's guitar on that was unbelievable. Really good. A couple of strong singles, there was Can't Stop Loving You. And the album's opener, Seventh Seal, brilliant. That sounded nothing like any Van Halen song, but still a Van Halen song, if you get the drift. A few songs on there, again, a bit like For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Bellucitherium, Take Me Back, Deja Vu. Big, they're all right. Not great. I personally wouldn't have them on there, but there's some fun songs on there. Big Fat Money, Amsterdam. Good songs to just have on the car as you're driving along. But I think, it's a darker album for Van Halen. It's probably the darkest album since Fair Warning, really. But I think, it's up there and it still stands up nowadays. It's a great album cover with young Wolfgang Van Halen as a Siamese twin on the seesaw. really good. Just a pity it was the last Sammy Hagar album, but you know, stuff happens. But yeah, that was number 9, and that was 1995's Balance. Number 8, and it's an album that took me years to get into and really appreciate and like. It is 1988's OU812. Brilliant. What a funny album title. This took me a long time to appreciate. I remember I rented the CD, as you could do back then, in 1993 from our local library. Took it home and taped it onto tape. Don't tell anyone. It was. I think it was the production more than anything. I was at that point. I just not long been into, started to get into Van Halen. I was all 1984, that kind of era. Panama, Hot for Teacher, they were still doing the rounds at MTV every now and again. And I wanted it to be like that, and it wasn't. And I didn't really appreciate it at the time. But now, years later, after you listen to it more and more, you really do appreciate how good the songs were and how good of an album it is. The only song I wouldn't say like, because I do like it, but it's a lesser, is a Political Blues at the end. Other than that, for many different reasons, every song is great. The only thing, the production's a bit tinny. I don't know what it is. It just lets it down a little bit. But on the whole, some great songs. AFU, Naturally Wired, Cable Weibo, Source of Infection, which I love. It feels so good. Finish What You Started, brilliant. That totally different sound for Van Halen, but really pulled it off. Mine Oh Mine, awesome. When It's Love, classic ballad, absolute massive ballad. It's an album when you listen to it time and time again, you really do appreciate how good the songs are and the writing. The only thing that I think lets it down, other than the production, is a bloody crap album cover. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I'd have actually switched it and had the ape, I can't think of his name, the ape from the back cover, and put that on the front. That would have been a better album cover than what they ended up with, the black background and the 4 faces and the sort of turquoisey green colour. But yeah, I think it still stands up all these years later. 34 years later, it's still a great album. Yep, so that's number 8, and that's OU812. Right, number 7, and it's back to 1982 for Dive Down. Not a massive album amongst Van Halen purists. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of them do. It's a bit of a Marmite album. I like it. It's taken a lot of time for me to like it. It's taken a lot of growing, but yeah, we got there in the end. I can really appreciate it now for what it is. The Van Halen songs on there are awesome. Hang 'em High, brilliant. Love that song. Cathedral, that's, says it all. That's still there, what it was in the live set until, quite recently, last few years. And one of the well-known sort of Eddie Van Halen instrumentals, other than Eruption, I would say. Secrets, that's good. Intruder, again, instrumental, but very dark Moog organ style instrumental, which I thought was really good, and the way it leads into Pretty Woman, fantastic. And Pretty Woman itself is a great cover. I mean, there are 5 covers on this, but I'll say it later and I'll say it now. When Van Halen did a cover, they very much made it their own, and very rarely stayed really loyal to the original version, which is good, as it should be. Little Guitars is fantastic. The Full Bug, that's quite fun. It's it never set the world alight. Big Bad Bill's alright, it's good. Happy Trails is just them singing Happy Trails, simple as that. But it's just a fun album. I think it sounds better on vinyl than it does on any other streaming format, be it digital or you do it on CD, listen to it on CD or anything like that, I think it sounds best on vinyl, just a really lovely, warm sound to it. But yeah, that was 1982's Diver Down. Okay, on with the countdown, and at number 6 is 1980's Women and Children First, released on my birthday, March the 26th, 1980. This is Van Halen's third album, and it's a belter. Now, number 5 and number 6 normally switch places on a regular basis for me, but at the minute it is where it is. But this is just jam-packed with absolute killer songs, absolute belters. Everybody Wants Some is an absolute tune, and The Cradle Will Rock, Take Your Whiskey. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh, Could This Be Magic? That's a tune as well. And Romeo Delight. They're all up-tempo, fast-paced, good old, fucking heavy Van Halen songs. It's probably the heaviest album that they've done up until that point, certainly. But there's a few songs that are okay, average. Tora Tora and A Simple Rhyme. Yeah, they're probably my least favourites. But on the whole, like I said, they've started gone for a slightly darker yet heavier production than Van Halen 2. And there wasn't so much of the party anthems, it was more, a little bit more serious, but not overly serious, obviously. But yeah, I mean, classic. It is just a classic album. The classic cover with the Eddie Van Halen Destroyer on the front, the guitar. Yeah, I love it. Love it. There's no covers on there either. It's the first album that featured no covers, which was good. It was a different slant, and I think it really worked. So that was number 6. So yeah, number 6, that was 1980's Women and Children First. All right, at number 5, and it's 1981's dark, brooding and experimental Fair Warning. Now this, number 4 in the Van Halen catalogue, is a lot different to the previous 3 albums. Like I said, very dark, very experimental. Some of the songs are at a slower tempo, but it's like a boom, 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 that sort of thumping quality they've got to them. It kicks off with a nice bit of Eddie Van Halen guitar work, which leads into the main riff of Mean Street, which is awesome. Shit up. Then we go into Dirty Movies, which is a dark, brooding number, but great song. Sinner Swing, yeah, it's all right. Hear About It Later, that's a great song. That's classic Van Halen sort of sing-along sort of party chorus, if you like. And then it kicks into one of the best Van Halen songs ever, Unchained. Wow. It's an absolute greatest hit right there. It features the classic "Come on, Dave, give me a break, one break coming up" line, which very famous, quite superb. I love that song. So This Is Love, yeah, it's all right. Push Comes to Shove, that's okay. That's a bit up tempo, it's quite good. I do like Sunday Afternoon in the Park as an instrumental. That is dark as dark gets, superb. Very synthy, very dark. That's the way the experimentation was sort of going at the time. One Foot Out the Door, good way to end the album. But yeah, as an experimental album, it worked. For everybody's playing was really good. And Ted Templeman really got the best out of him on this. So yeah, that is number 5, and that is Fair Warning. So, number 4, and it's the biggest of all Van Halen party albums. It's 1986's 5150. So a lot of things were expected of this because it was Sammy Hagar's first Van Halen album, the first without David Lee Roth. What would they sound like? Ooh, well, the album starts up with "Hello, baby," and you're away. That's how the album started, and that's how it continued. It's just a fun album. It's all the songs are make you feel good about yourself. They are good, driving anthems. A couple of ballads on there which are fantastic. Starts off with Good Enough, which is, you know, good song to get the album going. It's a bit of a different sound, a bit more of a, I think, a mature sound for as party albums go. But I think Sammy Hagar brought something quite different to the party, if you like. But yeah, starts with Good Enough. We've got Why Can't This Be Love? You know, massive single, absolutely massive. A lot of people don't like this album, but you know, charted at number 1 on the charts, and you know, they can't go much. You know, you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, you've got Get Up in there. That's when Alex Van Halen's drum sound for me went a bit. The bass drums are. It sounds very messed with, doesn't sound natural, but anyway, it still sounds good, but it's just a lot different to what he'd had previously, and he sort of carried on that sound. My favourite song on the album, Dreams. I fucking love that song. Absolute tune. It's a classic anthem, and one, you know, you're feeling a bit down, you bang that on, you're on cloud 9. It's awesome. Summer Nights, I love that. Just the classic summer song. Best of Both Worlds, which is again one of Van Halen's biggest songs. It's brilliant. Love Walks In as a ballad, doesn't get much better. 5150 is a fun song, but you know, yeah, it's not the best, but you know, it'll do. The only letdown of the album for me is Inside. That's just pants. Absolute dross. You can get rid of that for me. You know, wouldn't miss it. But yeah, great album, great cover. The guy with the muscly bloke in the 5150 necklace holding the Van Halen marble, as I like to call it. Yeah, brilliant. As a debut album of Van Hagar, it's absolutely fantastic and highly recommended. So that's 1986's 5150. Right, we're into the top 3, and number 3, it's number 2. It's Van Halen 2. Now this was a sophomore album from Van Halen, and it absolutely smokes. It's unbelievable. Now when I first heard it, I heard, you know, the start of You're No Good, the old Clint Ballard Jr. song. I thought, oh, after the first Van Halen album, you go to this. But then, you know, it's all right. It's a decent cover. Like I said, Van Halen do make covers their own. But then, track 2, Dance the Night Away. Wow, what a tune! What an anthem that is! And then you follow it up with Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Holy shit! Absolutely brilliant. The Michael Anthony High backing vocals on that song are unbelievable. Really good stuff. And the next few songs, Bottoms Up, Out of Love Again, Light Up the Sky, all absolutely kick you up the arse. They are fantastic songs. Spanish Fly, which is a bit of an acoustic eruption, is good. It's all right. It's cool. It's different. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. You know, it's all right. But then that finishes, and here we go with Dead or Alive. Holy shit! What a tune that is. Fantastic. It just picks up the pace again, and it doesn't let you down. Women in Love, all right, mid-tempo song, that's good. Doesn't set the world alight for me, but it's all right. And then we finish with the awesome Beautiful Girls, which is just a tune, absolute tune. So as something that had to follow the first album, yeah, they did well. The boys done good on that one. Classic album, dark blue background with the metallic into red Van Halen logo, classic Van Halen logo on the front. Brilliant. So yeah, again, highly, highly, highly recommended. Van Halen 2. So number 2, and it's 1984's 1984. Absolute seminal Van Halen album, a masterpiece. There are only a couple of things that keep this off number 1 for me, but nothing mega. So the album starts with the keyboard-tastic 1984, great sci-fi style instrumental, which leads directly into the mega hit Jump. Everybody knows Jump, everybody can sing Jump, can play air keyboards to Jump, and it's had nearly 610 million listens on Spotify. That is unbelievable. But not as unbelievable as the next song, which is my all-time favourite Van Halen song, Panama. Wow. I first saw this on VH1 in 1992 when they replayed an old video, and wow, what is that? And I've never put it down since. I can listen to it over and over again and never get bored. And I especially like, if you've seen Family Guy, on the police car chase when he jumps over the ravine. It's the old Pistons popping, ain't no stopping, no, as he's jumping over the ravine. And then he lands and he kicks back into Panama. Awesome, fantastic. From Panama, we go to Top Jimmy, which is a nice little number, but a bit of a David Lee Roth number about an old nightclub owner. Yeah, love that song. Drop Dead Legs, probably my least favourite song on the album. Probably. Yeah, it's okay. It's just not brilliant. But as soon as that finishes, we hear the sound of double bass pedals as Alex Van Halen introduces us to Hot for Teacher. Holy shit! I once got a detention at school for walking along the radiators on the long corridor, intending to do an Eddie Van Halen solo to this. So yeah, it was very inspirational. But what a great song. Up and down, all the way through it. And it just doesn't relent. It's awesome. Following the awesomeness of Hot for Teacher, we get into I'll Wait, which is a bit of an 80s poppy synth number. But I didn't really like it years ago, but it's really grown on me. I do like it. Same with Girl Gone Bad. You know, they're really good songs, but yeah, not as anywhere near as good as, you know, Jump, Panama, Hot for Teacher. They're just good, but yeah. Album finishes with House of Pain, which is an old song that they reworked. I love this song. Absolutely love this song. It's got a cool riff, but the guitar solo is unbelievably good. Really good. So yeah, I highly recommend this album. It's got the iconic album cover with the boy cherub on there smoking a fag. Brilliant. Just awesome. Can't recommend it enough. But that is my number 2. That is 1984's 1984. And at number 1, it's the album that changed the world. It's my all-time favourite Van Halen album and probably my all-time favourite album. It is 1978's Van Halen. Wow. Literally, track by track, they are all awesome. All killer, no filler. So we start off with the car horns and the boom, 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 bang, 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 and we're straight in to the hard rock classic, Running with the Devil. Holy shit, awesome. And as soon as you think it can't get any better, then we get 1 minute 42 of pure genius. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Eruption. It's not a guitar solo, it's not an instrumental, it is just awesome. Awesome. You listen to things you never heard before. It was a different sound, it was just wow. I still listen to it now and you hear something different every time. It just showed you what a genius Eddie Van Halen was. It was just unbelievably good. Unbelievably good, and it shows in Eruption. It's just perfect. You see videos on YouTube now of kids watching it for the first time, and that's what it does to you. It smacks you in the mouth. And Eruption leads into the Kinks cover of You Really Got Me. Now, This, for me, the Van Halen version is tons better than the King's version. Tons better. Much prefer it. Much prefer it. Just makes the song 100 times better than it was. Number 4, we've got the Riff-tastic Ain't Talking About Love. Now this is another Van Halen classic. Everybody knows it, everybody can sing it. Brilliant. I'm the One keeps the pace going. Love that song. Jamie's Crying with the classic wailing guitar sound. Again, a big hit of the 70s, and yeah, a song that everybody knows. It's always on your hard rock compilations, and rightly it should be. Next up, we pick up the pace of Atomic Punk and Feel Love Tonight. Feel Love Tonight, great chorus. I can't wait to feel you. Sing along, just sing along all day to that. Goes down a little bit with Little Dreamer, not down in a bad way, just brings the pace down a little bit. But that's one of the best David Lee Roth songs, brilliant. Then we've got the comedy Ice Cream Man, which again, fantastic song, something totally different, but really works on the album. And last but not least, we finish off in style with On Fire. What a way to end an unbelievable album. 11 songs of pure perfection. Pure perfection. I can't recommend this album enough to anybody. So, that is my top 12 Van Halen albums in order. So, if you've enjoyed this countdown of Van Halen studio albums from worst to best, then give us a like, hit the subscribe button, or tap the notifications bell, and we'll let you know next time we upload a video. Also, drop us a comment below, why not? It's good, like to hear your opinions, whether you agree, whether you don't agree, it doesn't matter, it's just for fun. But until next time, take care.